Which true freshmen have a chance to see the field early on for the Georgia Bulldogs in 2025? That's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Georgia obviously signed an elite class in the 2025 cycle, and there are several names that I have an eye on who I think could play early next fall. So let's jump right into it, right? Now, we'll start on offense. No reason to talk about the quarterbacks, Ryan Montgomery, Hezekiah Malinder. I don't think either one of those guys will be playing next fall as a true freshman. Just they need some time to get healthy, learn the offense, so on and so on, right? So no reason to talk about the quarterbacks. At running back, a lot of hype around Bo Walker, right? He was the 3-star, did play at Cedar Grove, ended his career at Rabun Gap, and he was a guy that was turning heads in spring practice, but he's still got several guys in front of him, right? I still think Nate Frazier is the lead dog. That running back number 1, Josh McCray, they brought in through the transfer portal, a guy I really like, right? Big, bruising, tackle-breaking machine. They brought him in for a reason. He led Illinois in rushing. I would be surprised right now from everything I'm hearing that he is not RB2 in Athens, come September. Chauncey Bowens is a guy that took a step forward this spring. We saw him a decent bit during G-Day, and he was impressive, right? That's a guy who's getting better and better. Wouldn't surprise me if he's the number 3 running back. You have Roderick Robinson, who is a weapon when healthy. So Bo Walker, he's still behind Dwight Phillips Jr. as well. So there's some guys in front of him, but I do think we'll see him some. Might be against Marshall, probably not against Alabama, Texas, Ole Miss, etc. But there's some cupcake games where I think he'll be able to play. And if he does improve and keep developing and working hard, then I think if a guy gets banged up a little bit here or there, we should see some Bo Walker. So he's a guy with, a promising future. We'll see him some, just not really sure how much, right? At tight end, kind of the same way, right? They brought in 2 outstanding tight ends, 5-star Elias Williams, 4-star Ethan Barbour. I think Ethan Barbour, state champion out of Milton, by the way, I think he's probably more ready to play. I think they both have the potential to have really nice careers, but still kind of a loaded depth chart, right? Oscar Delp, Lawson Lucky, those are the 2 guys. I think Jaden Riddell, that's a guy that I've been talking about for a while. I think he will have a significant role in the offense as the 3rd tight end. Colton Heinrich right behind him when he's healthy. He's going to try to push for playing time. But I think Ethan Barbour probably a little more ready to play than Elias Williams. But I think at some point, both of them are going to make big plays in Athens. No doubt. Big fan of those 2. So I think we'll see them some, probably again, against the cupcakes here and there. But Ethan Barbour, I think, is probably the one that's more ready to play right now. And I think we'll see him in those cupcake games. On the offensive line, kind of hard to tell. I love Juan Gaston Jr. Y'all know this. If you followed my work, if you've been watching these videos for the past few years now, that's a guy I've been raving about. I thought he was criminally underranked by all the outlets out there. That is a big athlete. His dad was an outstanding athlete, played basketball at Georgia Tech, probably should have played football from what I'm hearing. But when I knew that kid or that guy had a son who is 6'7", 6'8", 340, 350, moving the way he did, I had to go see him. He dominated at Westlake. I think he will be a multi-year starter at Georgia. Not sure if he's going to be playing as a freshman because you just don't see that anymore at Georgia, right? They stack him up. They try to add depth, and it's hard to be ready to play as a freshman on the offensive line, not only at a place like Georgia, but in the SEC, right? You got to earn that. I think you will at some point. But if there's one offensive lineman to know about, I think it's Juan Gaston Jr. At wide receiver. We're moving right along. Wide receiver, yes, I do think we will see at some point Talon Taylor, CJ Wiley. Maybe we see some Landon Roldan in the cupcake games. I think Thomas Blackshear, a guy who's not with the team right now, he will come in the summer. He had a massive senior season for Calvary Day down in Savannah. Muscular frame, plays the wide receiver position like a running back, sort of like Dylan Bell, real versatile guy. But at the end of the day, there's 7-8 wide receivers ahead of the freshmen, right? You've got Zachariah Branch, who needs the ball. He needs to start. You brought in Noah Thomas for a reason. Colby Young is back. He's going to see the field. And Dylan Bell is kind of the experienced veteran of that group. So that's 4. You've got London Humphreys, who played some last year. That's 5. You got Sokovie White, who's been earning, his time, right? Waiting his turn is what I meant to say. That's a kid who wants to see the field. That's 6. You got Cole Spear, who's been around forever. That's 7. Jeremy Bell, the walk-on that's been turning heads. That's 8, right? So they're deep. They've got guys. But at the end of the day, they're Talon Taylor and C.J. Wiley specifically. Those two are too talented. They're too good to be on the bench for very long. We saw C.J. Wiley, I say we, it wasn't on TV, but during G-Day, C.J. Wiley had one of the best plays of the game, snagged the ball with one hand down the sideline in tight coverage, showing you that big play ability. Talon Taylor caught 3 passes for 30-plus so yards. They both are very, very talented. And I think both of them are bound to start at one point in their career, at some point is what I meant to say, and we'll see them. We'll see them against the Cupcakes, and maybe down the stretch, if a guy gets hurt or two and these guys continue to develop and progress, I think they'll see the field. But it's a loaded wide receiver room, right? There's a lot of guys ahead of them. At some point, they will see the field. Not sure how early. I'm not saying they're going to start at any time this season. I'm not saying they're going to play a ton against SEC opponents, but we will see them. They're too good. They're too good. On the defensive line, obviously the one name that sticks out is Elijah Griffin. They only signed 2 true defensive linemen, Elijah Griffin and J.J. Hand. Elijah Griffin had probably a tackle or 2 and a deflected pass in the line of scrimmage during G-Day, but a lot of people the hype is real from what I'm hearing, but they don't want to say how much the hype is real. There's a lot of people that are really, really excited about him. He was a top 5 prospect in the country. Explosive. He's got a good frame. Just so quick off the snap. And he gets in the backfield in a hurry. And he can bully opposing offensive linemen, or at least he did it in Savannah Christian Prep down there in Savannah. But he is a big-time player, was extremely productive. He was a game wrecker. Opposing coaches said that we couldn't block him. We put 2 guys, 3 guys on him, still couldn't block him at times. And they had to, kind of strategize their offense going away from Elijah Griffin. It doesn't matter. I could go on and on. The kid is a player. Now, he still has guys like Kristen Miller, Jordan Hall, Jordan Thomas, Nnamdi Agboko, Nasir Johnson, Xavier McLeod, right? So there's still guys in front of him. He's still a freshman. He's got to work his way through. He's got to show the staff that he can play, but they are high on him. And I think he will play. I'm not saying he's going to start, but I think we are going to see a decent amount of him. It's early. I'm stumbling over my words a little bit. I appreciate y'all staying with me. I talk fast. I need to slow it down. But just stick with me here. Elijah Griffin, going to play. On the edge, right? They just brought in Ilo Mendoza from Army. He's going to play a lot of outside linebacker. You got Gabe Harris, you got Quintavious Johnson, you got Chris Jones. Those are the 4 outside linebackers that you got to know. But Isaiah Gibson's really good. He is really good. 7-foot-long wingspan, 5-star, number 1 edge, explosive, tough, plays with max effort. He's a guy that obviously looks the part already. If he just gets even a little better, when he's healthy, I think he's going to play a role as well. The better he gets, the quicker he's going to see the field. Darren Ekanogben is a guy that the staff is really high on. Still a little bit of a project. He's a kid, high 4-star kid from New Jersey that they love. They think if they can add some weight on him, more muscle, more mass, and teach him how to play the game, that he'll probably play with his hand on the ground, in the dirt, on the ground, and be that Michael Williams type. That's what they told him. That's what they told his high school coaches when they were recruiting him. They said, hey, we got this kid, Michael Williams. You look a lot like him, and we want to teach you how to play the game. He's only been playing for a couple years, but the ceiling is high. The ceiling's really, really high for that young man. Chase Linton is another guy that shot up the rankings in that 25 class. They've got 3 promising edge defenders that if they continue to work and progress and show the staff that they're ready to play, I think 2 of those guys, maybe all 3, depending on the opponent, will see the field. But I do expect to see Isaiah Gibson out there. He's too good. He's too talented. He's a natural pass rusher, and that's exactly what they need. So if that guy progresses and develops the way they think, he's going to be a superstar. At linebacker, Zayden Walker flashed a little bit at G-Day, and I think he's probably the linebacker number 6 in the middle. C.J. Allen, Raylan Wilson, those are the 2 starters. Justin Williams, Chris Cole, 2 of Kirby Smart's favorite players on the roster. We're going to see both of those guys. Terrell Foster is a veteran, former walk-on. I still think he might be a walk-on. So that's 5 right there. And I think Zayden Walker is right after him. Incoming freshman, 5-star out of Sly County. I like his promise. A guy who can run, natural athlete, good instincts. So we'll see, how much he can see the field in those cupcake games. But he's buried on that depth chart with a lot of guys in front of him. Anthony Crua, the 3-star linebacker that flipped from North Carolina to Georgia in their 25 class. He's in a sling. I don't know what the injury is. I may have missed it if Kirby Smart talked about it, but he's in a sling right now, so I don't think he did a whole lot in the spring. I'm not sure how much we'll see him this fall. And then the secondary, again, they brought in a lot of guys, but I'm not sure any of them are ready to play immediately. Again, maybe in some cupcake games we'll see some Todd Robinson out there. He's a safety athlete that they signed out of Valdosta, but they brought in 2 safeties through the transfer portal for a reason. Kyron Jones is a guy they want to step up. Janelle Aguero at safety is a guy. Ja'Cory Thomas is still around. Obviously, you have KJ Bolden at cornerback. You've got the 2 starters, Dalen Everett, Daniel Harris, then the 2 guys right behind them that are really talented too, Ellis Williams, DeMello Jones. So I'm not sure how many freshmen we will see play in the secondary a lot. Again, maybe in the mop-up games, late in the fourth quarter, we'll see those guys, but there's not one standing out immediately that I'm thinking, okay, that guy is going to play early. So we'll see, but just a few names to know. We will see some of the freshmen in some capacity. I'm not sure any of them are going to earn a starting job, but just a few guys to keep an eye on. Thanks for staying with me. I know I talk fast. I know I stumble on some words sometimes, but I get excited. Talking about the Dogs on YouTube for y'all. So thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Make sure y'all are heading over to Dawg Post for the latest team and recruiting news. Again, thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you kind of learned something, and I'll see you on the next video.